Heyo, welcome back to my channel. I'm the one they call Peachy Pye, and you are most welcome to join me here. So today we're making one of my favorite things to eat behind KFC. KFC, please sponsor this video. My second favorite thing to eat is your mama soup, my grandmother's soup recipe. But before we do that, I just want to say hashtag justice for Ackman. You know the drill. Go support on Twitter, and also if you want to support, go check out Ackman's channel because he's apparently been uploading videos. So yeah, soup today sounds like fun to me. Soup is always a good time, and yeah, let's get into it. And I'll tell you a little bit of a fact about me. It's kind of hilarious, so stay tuned for that. So we are making soup. You better boil that water, make it as full as possible in the kettle, pop a pot on the stove and put it onto medium high heat. Okay, so we're checking out our ingredients. We got some salt, we're gonna have some pepper, you want to have green split peas and soup mix, and then some chicken, or you could just skip the meat if you want to, completely up to you. And then I've got a soup vegetable pack. So yeah, so the first thing that you want to do is you want to clean up all of those ingredients. You want to wash things off, and obviously you're going to do a lot of peeling. Then you are going to grate your onion. I like to chop the ends off, so you're going to grate it. It's the worst. It makes your eyes tear and it is a huge pain, but the flavor is definitely different. And you want to pop that into your heated stove, onto the stove. Yeah, you can see my eyes are tearing like nuts. And you want to stir that around in the pot, but do not add oil. Only use water. Only water, no oil. You don't want an oily soup. Okay, so I didn't clean all my vegetables and chicken ahead of time, so I had to do it then. If you see my hands go off center of the screen, it's probably because I'm rinsing off something. But now we are chopping up the celery and chopping up the leek, and those are also gonna go straight into the pot. Don't forget to stir. If it's getting the onions are getting a little too brown, just add a teensy little bit of water. You don't want to have too much, otherwise it's going to start getting mushy from the beginning. You want to have that nice flavor. So stir everything around once you popped it in the pot. Next, we want to go and add a little bit of water, like I said. You want to chop your chicken up or whatever meat that you've got into pieces. If you didn't add any meat or don't have any chicken, then you can just skip this step. Yeah, but you just pop it in with that leek, celery and the onion, and then you add a little bit of water again. You see, like as you cook in the soup, you have to add a little bit of water every now and again, just to stop it from burning a little bit. And then I chopped up the tomato into little cubes, and as you can tell, that's also going to go into the pot. Remembering to stir each time you add a new ingredient, and if it is getting too hot, cooking too fast, turn down the heat and pop a teensy little bit of water again into the pot. Okie dokie, now we're onto the radish, and then I chopped up the radish, and I first wanted to slice it, and then I changed my mind because I didn't want my kid to know they were in the soup. And then I grabbed some carrots and I chopped them, the ends off, and I peeled it as well. I chop off both ends, do not ask me why. It's just a habit. And I grated the 2 carrots, and then I popped all of that on the stove with the chicken and the tomato and the onions and everything else that was in there. And then just gotta remember, every time you add something, you can stir. And yeah, it was smelling so good at this point already. You just want to add 1 full cup of split peas. This is important, 1 cup of split peas, and then half a cup of soup mix. Okay, that is very important because it does not taste the same if you mix those ratios around. Half a cup soup mix, 1 cup of split peas. Got it? And then you want to stir that in and throw some water, a little bit of water, don't have to throw too much, but you can throw like a little bit and stir it in, and then you can fill the pot full of water, and then you can add your salt and your pepper. You can add it to the pot, or you can add it individually to the bowls if you want to control the salt content, which is what some people like to do. And then you pop the lid on, and then your soup just cooks while you get the potatoes ready. So you can switch it on to high heat at that point, and once you've peeled and chopped your potatoes, you put it right into the pot, and then you close it. And once the green split peas and the soup mix have kind of dissolved a little, you'll see that the green split peas are not hard anymore and they just break apart. Then it's all done. Okie dokie, so that's my grandmama's soup recipe. It does take a long time to prep. It took me like an hour, and there's also a ton of cleaning that needs to be done now as well, but it is 100% worth it. So yeah, if you can buy pre-cut vegetables, this always happens to me when I grate onions. It sucks. I am not the best cook. I am not a professional cook or anything. I kind of like cooking for my family. I hate that it takes forever though, but well, no one has died yet, so that's my claim to fame, that nobody's died. But in all seriousness, it's a really good recipe. I figured I'd make some soup because everyone's sick right now, and yeah, it's really healthy, very delicious, minimal ingredients. Doesn't have to be expensive. You can replace chicken with meat, or you can just skip the meat altogether. You can add chicken stock or beef stock if you want to. You don't have to. Salt and pepper works, promise, pinky swear. It's up to you, really. You could, with soup, you can do anything. Soup is very versatile, and it's really, really healthy. Plus, when my kid is sick, I can convince him, because it's going to be green when the split peas absorb into the soup, and they start getting, like, when they start breaking up is when you know the soup is done. So that usually takes like 2 hours or so when you keep the thing on high heat and you gotta keep stirring. But when it turns green, then I can convince my son that it's Hulk soup, and that's gonna help him get better. So there's a parenting tip for you. And I did say I would tell you something about me. My first word was, no lies, poep, which is the South African Afrikaans word, I guess, for a fart, because my grandmother used to give me soup a lot as a infant, and she said to me that soup makes you poop. So my first word was poop because of my grandmother. But I still love soup, and it's a win at the end of the day. So thank you very much for being here, and thanks for subscribing. I hope you have a fantastic evening further, because you absolutely deserve it. Stay tuned for a scripture of the day, and don't forget to take care of yourself. Cheers.
Unless otherwise indicated, all the following scripture quotations are taken from the Holy Bible New Living Translation, with copyright by Tyndale House Foundation, used by permission of Tyndale House Publishers, all rights reserved.
그대 잠깐 눈을 붙일 때 나는 마음에 물을 붙여요. 비밀의 나만의 초콜릿. 그대 차가운 몸을 녹일 때